Hello and welcome to KXII 12 News Now. My name is Robin Key and it is September 3rd. Now this is our first show back from Labor Day and after our big rebrand. So I hope that everybody has had a great holiday and is liking the new look. Now, we are going to start with a quick recap of everything that happened while we were gone. Now, Labor Day started with a rally here in Texoma as people came to the Durant Town Square as part of a national effort to make working class people heard. The Workers Over Billionaires rally took place from 10 to noon. The event was volunteer organized by a national group formed earlier this year. Now, participants gathered to hold signs and call attention to rising fascism, as well as workplace and economic issues in the country. Durant police were present to monitor the area. They thank participants for their cooperation in helping keep the event safe. Then several laws went into effect across Texoma on Labor Day. These include a number of education bills, including Senate Bill 10, 12, and 13. Senate Bill 10 requires every public elementary and secondary school in the state to display the 10 Commandments in all classrooms during the school year. Senate Bill 12 is the Parents' Bill of Rights and rules out a number of practices such as DEI hiring, required sex education, and more. Finally, Senate Bill 13 requires schools to create parent advisory councils for their libraries to vote on what books children get to read on campus. Now new today, if you saw a large police presence in Denison this morning, here's why. Police arrested a suspect in connection to a car burglary. One person was spotted on South Chandler Avenue, but ran from police and is still at large. However, police say they did find a second suspect who admitted to the break-in. That person was arrested and charged with theft of property. Neither suspect's names were released. Also new today, the Love County Sheriff's Office has limited services in its administration office today. Sheriff Andy Cumberledge says that it's because of illness moving among staff members. Fingerprinting, records request, registrations, concealed carry paperwork, and phone answering will be limited during the staff shortages. But law enforcement duties are not impacted. Everybody, illness is really going around. Make sure that you're washing your hands. Now, let's look at some of your Texoma headlines, especially in Texoma development. Now, yesterday, the Denison City Council decided that they would raise the property tax revenue rate no more than 5 cents for the upcoming year. The property tax revenue rate feeds into the city's budget, which resolves city needs like streets and public parks. Now, we spoke with the Denison Mayor, Robert Crawley, about when the citizens can expect a final decision to be made.
We will meet in 2 weeks. We could decide to go 0 increase. We could decide to go 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 cents, but no more than 5 cents. And that was what we voted on tonight.
Head over to this story on our website to see a breakdown of what each cent would fund. Now, speaking of taxes, on Election Day, Grayson County residents who live outside of city limits will see a proposed sale tax on their ballots. If passed, the tax money would fund fire and EMS in the unincorporated parts of the county. It is a 1.5 sales tax that only affects people who live in the county. So that means if you bought $100 worth of things online in the county, you would pay $1.50 more. Residents were able to ask questions at Tuesday's meeting and learn firsthand what makes this issue important.
We have no fire hydrants, so it's really important that we have a fire department that actually knows that actually brings pump trucks. They bring everything they need to put your house out on the fire.
Now, voters will have the final say on Election Day, Tuesday, November 4th. Marshall County's ballot is beginning to fill up as well. A tax proposal for the Point Vista project will now be up for vote. This is because over 1,300 residents signed a petition after the proposal was initially denied by commissioners. So now you'll see it on the ballot for November 18th. Now, a Pride organization in Oklahoma is still hosting a town's very first Pride event this weekend, even after receiving threats. Rural Oklahoma Pride is an organization created to make LGBTQ+ members in small Oklahoma towns feel accepted. They've brought Pride to numerous towns, and this weekend, Tishomingo will experience their first. But the group says that they've seen other organizations try to discourage participation by creating events at the same time as theirs, and even in threatening the event.
We're not afraid anymore. At this point, we want people to know and to be encouraged to step out of that comfort zone. Be ready to protect those in your community because why should we have to go back into hiding?
Now, the event will be held Saturday afternoon at Pennington Park. The organizers say tribal and law enforcement will be there to make sure that everything is safe. Now, it is officially dove hunting season here in Texoma. Hunters are very excited for this, but there are some important tips that you need to keep in mind. Remember to be aware of your surroundings when hunting and to have a proper license on you at all times. We spoke with a Texas game warden on what the best places to hunt in Texoma are.
Corn crops, milo fields, volunteer sunflower fields. Majority of the dove are basically in crops or around the crops, and then they roost in trees along the crop lines.
He also says it's best to wear camo and hunting goes smoothest right before sunrise and sunset. Then we have exciting news as a show of regrowth and perseverance is happening right here in Texoma. After losing their hospital to a tornado last year, Mercy Health Love County has opened a temporary emergency room right next to the hospital. The ER is staffed 24 hours a day for walk-in emergencies and EMS patients. The hospital has just about every service back that they'd originally lost.
Oh, it's great for the community. There's no traveling. I think we had a patient today that said they felt kind of sick Friday, heard we were going to be open, so they waited to come today.
They say that the only service they're still missing is inpatient care, which will come when the hospital is either repaired or replaced. FEMA, who's paying for a large part of the construction costs, is expected to give the go-ahead for that project coming soon. Now, we will be right back with what is happening all over, including Texas, Oklahoma, and the world. We have updates on the release of the Epstein files and an important stance taken by the Pope. So after all of that, we will be bringing it back to Texoma land. Now, do not swipe out now. Welcome back to KXII 12 News Now. Accusers of the late convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein and his incarcerated co-conspirator Ghislaine Maxwell gathered on Capitol Hill this morning to share their stories publicly. They held a news conference with two lawmakers who are pushing for the release of all files related to the Epstein case. Now, usually we don't do longer videos like this, but our CBS correspondent, Natalie Brand, has been there all day, and she's sharing details straight from Washington. So give it a look.
We're in a sorority that none of us asked to join.
Accusers of the late Jeffrey Epstein, along with their families and advocates, are fighting for transparency.
He was an international human trafficker.
The women say they want the public to know what they endured.
Protect the vulnerable, not the powerful. protect children and survivors.
The news conference comes as Republican Congressman Thomas Massie of Kentucky and Democratic Representative Ro Khanna of California are leading a bipartisan effort to try and force a vote requiring the Justice Department to turn over all files related to the case.
There is something that is rotten in Washington. Less than 1% of these files have been released.
The lawmakers are pressuring the Trump administration to disclose more information about the criminal probes and recently subpoenaed the Justice Department for Epstein records. Analysis by CBS News found much of the release had already been made public, but did include unseen surveillance video outside Epstein's jail cell on the night he died by suicide, as well as the disgraced financier's flight logs documenting travel with young women.
It's so hard to begin to heal knowing that there are people out there who know more about my abuse than I do.
House Speaker Mike Johnson was among the lawmakers who met privately with victims on Tuesday, calling them courageous.
There were tears in the room. There was outrage. It was both, I would describe it as heartbreaking and infuriating that justice has been delayed so long.
It is a cover-up of epic proportions.
Other lawmakers say the House Speaker and colleagues are not doing enough to bring transparency and accountability. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the White House.
A quick-moving wildfire has burned homes in California's Gold Rush town, settled around 1850 by Chinese miners. It's one of nearly 24 fires burning across northern California today. The quick-moving fire near the Chinese camp is threatening the few remaining historic structures. The roughly 100 residents in the Sierra Nevada foothills town had to evacuate. The fire is also closed a main highway between San Francisco and Yosemite National Park. It's unclear whether any of the town's Gold Rush era structures have been damaged in the fire that erupted yesterday. Then, a divided federal appeals court says that President Trump's use of the Aliens Enemy Act to rapidly deport alleged Venezuelan gang members is unlawful. The decision yesterday means that the law can't be used in several southern states, blocking a strategy used by the administration in its immigration crackdown. The president has not leaned on the 1798 law for removal since mid-March, when his use of it sparked the first in a series of legal challenges. The court concluded that a predatory insurgent by members of the gang Tred de Agra has not occurred, as Trump claimed, for the reason of evoking the act. The U.S. Supreme Court will likely have the final say on the case. Then another blow to the administration yesterday, a federal judge ruled that President Donald Trump and Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth violated federal law this summer. The ruling pertains to their use of the U.S. military to help carry out law enforcement activities in and around Los Angeles. The administration deployed thousands of federalized California National Guard members and U.S. Marines to provide protection to federal agents during an aggressive immigration crackdown. Now, this decision comes as President Trump weighs whether or not to send National Guard members to other cities. We are not sure how this decision will affect that yet. President Trump does say that the U.S. military struck an alleged drug boat tied to a Venezuelan drug cartel. The president says that 11 people were killed in the strike, which occurred in international waters. He shared this video on social media. As we can see, this appears to be the boat that he is talking about. Trump said that the alleged drug boat was tied to the cartel we spoke about previously, Tren de Aragua, which was designated as a foreign terrorist organization earlier this year. Now, the use of military force against the Latin American drug cartel represents a significant escalation by the Trump administration on this topic, so we will continue to follow this. Now, China's missiles, fighter jets, and other military hardware, some on public view for the very first time, were displayed in a major parade today. The event marks the 80th anniversary of the end of World War II. Many leaders attended, including North Korean leader Kim Jong-un, who made a rare foreign trip to attend. He was joined by Russian President Vladimir Putin and the President of Iran, among others. U.S. and Western European heads of state have stayed away, as the leaders of Japan, India, and South Korea have also done. Now, the parade aimed to instill pride in the populace and assure them that the country is strong enough to ward off any attack. But China's growing military strength also concerns its Asian neighbors and us here in the United States, specifically the government. Now, a major move for the planet from the Vatican as Pope Leo opens a brand new eco-training center just outside of Rome. The Pope Leo Eco Center sits in the lush countryside of Castel Gandolfo, the historic summer retreat of popes. Now, the space that was closed to the public for 400 years is being transformed into a hub for environmental education, with a school, gardens, and workshops for kids and farmers.
Inviting people who are Catholic and non-Catholic to be able to create this model together and give the world a sign of hope that the world can be different if we choose to work together to live the very things that we preach.
The Vatican hopes that the Green Village will inspire world leaders to take climate action. Now, we will be right back after this short break with our Community Corner. Everything that is going on in Texoma that you need to know about, we will have it here. Don't exit quite yet. Welcome back. It is time for our Community Corner here on KXII 12 News Now. Everything that you need to know to be a member of the Texoma community. We want to keep you informed, so be right here. Now, the Denison Yellow Jackets are switching things up this year at Munson Stadium. For the first home game of 2025, the Touch of Gold Band, Stingerettes, and Party Pit will move from the visitor stands to where they belong, the home side. The location will be on the south end of the home side near the video board. This comes after a vote was made by District 4 to District 5A Division 2 schools to move the Touch of Gold Band away from the visitor side. According to district officials, the change will have more spirit and Yellow Jacket pride to the home side.
To turn around and look in the stands and see those stands full and hear the band playing and see the drill team doing their routines in the stands, the party pits making a lot of noise, all of that combined really just makes the fans be that much more excited.
Don't worry, the change will not affect parking for any ticket holders. Then, Durant FFA students are learning a brand new building this year. The new AG building has 3 classrooms, a shop with 10 welding bays, and a big greenhouse. One student told us that he is excited that more students can learn in the growing program.
I want to see the program. I just want to see it blow up. I want to see it go crazy. I want to see so many students come in and learn, because for me, it has made me a better speaker, a better leader, a better person, and I just want that for future generations.
Durant's FFA now has about 200 students. This new multi-million-dollar facility was funded by a bond issue in 2019. Downtown Durant is getting more beautiful by the day. Magnolia Mile Art Alley has grown into a downtown staple over the years. Here, let's take a look at it. Now, what was once a dark alley 5 years ago has now transformed completely, wrapping up their second mural contest that brought in 21 new pieces to the alley and allowing for local artists to showcase their work. The owner says that they are gearing up for spooky season.
Coming up is our Halloween season, where we really decorate the alley with Halloween, and there's coffins and just a lot of effects and stuff that we do down here that just makes it a really fun place. Tying that in with the new haunted house that will be going in next door.
The haunted house next door, The Cellar, will open September 26th. Now, tickets will be $20 at the door, which includes a meal voucher for the Corner Crust in Durant. I'm such a scaredy cat. I could not do it. But if you go through the haunted house and want to let me know if it's too scary, because I really want to visit it, let me know. Let me know if it's too scary, okay? But you have to be gentle. I'm a scaredy cat. Now, it is fair weather Texoma, and we have lots of fairs to show for it. The Bryan County Free Fair is set to start today. It started this morning at 8 a.m., but don't worry, you haven't missed it yet. Now, it will last until 6 in the evening. Event enjoyers can have fun snacks and go to a variety of exhibits, including agriculture and FFA displays. Carter County will also be having its free fair. All vendors and exhibits will be open to the public starting at 9 in the morning tomorrow. Celebrations will last through Sunday. How absolutely fun. Make sure to go check those out and then send us pictures. You could always send us pictures to Robin Key TV, or of course submit them to KXII.com/photos. We would love to see if you go to any of these fairs. Now, that is all for this KXII 12 News Now. Make sure to join us here again tomorrow. I know that our time and schedule has been a little all over the place recently, but it was just because of the holiday. Soon we will be absolutely regular, 12:30 in the afternoon on weekdays. So don't forget, same place every time, CTV, which you can watch on our website, or you can watch on YouTube, where we do a live stream. Now, you don't have to stop watching KXII 12 News just because the stream is over. Go to channel 12 later this afternoon for the 4, 5, and 6 to stay updated with everything going on in Texoma land. Now, did you want more information about any of our stories? Don't worry, just go to, like I said, KXII.com, and you can learn more about everything that we talked about here today. And then make sure that you're following our Facebook, Instagram, X, Threads, and TikTok. There you'll find exclusive content, constant updates, and our past stories. We just finished our Brady's Barbecue segment, so you can go back and watch all of those if you want. Now, we will be here tomorrow, 12:30, but until then, have a nice day, Texoma.